Like a real-life fairy tale, the love story of Bhutan's king and queen is truly captivating. The king and queen first met when they were very young, and at the tender age of 7, the future queen boldly expressed her feelings to the 17-year-old prince. She innocently took his hand and said, "I want to walk with you. I want to marry you." 14 years later, that childhood sentiment became reality, and they became the king and queen of Bhutan, rulers of the happiest country in the world. Although Bhutanese tradition allows kings to have multiple wives, like his father and the monarchs before him, King Jigme Khesar Namgyel Wangchuck has chosen to marry only one woman, Queen Jetsun Pema. This choice wasn't just a testament to his deep love for her, but it also set an example for his people, representing a shift in Bhutanese society toward more modern family values. It's fascinating to know that Bhutanese law doesn't prohibit polygamy or polyandry, and in fact, this practice still exists in some rural areas. However, the king, as a symbol of modern Bhutan, opted for monogamy, even though tradition and legal authority allow him to have multiple wives as a sign of royal power in the past. His decision reflects the growing importance of modern ethics and love over royal duties and traditional authority. Hello everyone. Today we're diving into the story of Bhutan's king and queen, one of the most admired royal couples in the world. Their story isn't just about power and duty. It's a tale of love, dedication to their country, and family. So, let's explore their lives, love, and the tremendous impact they've had on Bhutan. King Jigme Khesar Namgyel Wangchuck was born on February 21, 1980. He's the eldest son of King Jigme Singye Wangchuck, who led major reforms that transformed Bhutan from an absolute monarchy into a constitutional one. Standing tall at 180 cm, with his good looks and noble demeanor, Prince Jigme Khesar Namgyel Wangchuck captured the hearts of millions of young women in Bhutan. Many mothers across the country even saw him as the ideal son-in-law. He officially ascended the throne in 2006 when his father, King Jigme Singye Wangchuck, abdicated, making him one of the youngest kings in the world. Although born into royalty, King Jigme Khesar didn't embrace a life of luxury or indulgence. Instead, he focused on expanding his knowledge, studying at prestigious institutions like Boston University and Oxford University. His academic achievements helped shape him into an excellent leader. After completing his studies abroad, the king returned to Bhutan and worked tirelessly to continue the country's development. He traveled throughout the nation, meeting with the people to better understand their needs and desires. What really sets the king apart, though, isn't just his education or power, but his deep connection to the people. He's affectionately known as the people's king because he values the happiness and well-being of his citizens more than material wealth. Queen Jetsun Pema was born on June 4, 1990, in the capital city of Thimphu. She's the second of 5 children in a well-off, non-royal family. Despite not being born into royalty, Jetsun Pema's family had social connections to the Bhutanese royal family. In 2006, when she was just 16, Jetsun Pema was accepted into one of the top schools in India and later went on to study at Regent's College in London, majoring in history, geography, and economics. From a young age, Jetsun Pema was a standout student, excelling in both sports and the arts. She was captain of the girls' basketball team and also enjoyed painting, photography, and music. Fluent in Dongka, English, and Hindi, she truly was an all-around talent. Despite coming from a non-royal background, Queen Jetsun Pema won the hearts of the Bhutanese people with her humility and kindness. Her approachable and down-to-earth nature has made her a beloved figure, embodying grace and warmth in the eyes of her people. The love story of the King and Queen of Bhutan is often compared to a real-life Cinderella story. They first met at a royal picnic when Jetsun Pema was just 7 years old. At the time, Prince Jigme was 17, and little Jetsun innocently expressed her affection for the prince. She took his hand and said, "I want to walk with you. I want to marry you." The prince, surprised by her innocence, was impressed by the little girl's boldness and replied, "When you grow up, if we're both still single and in love, I'll marry you." It was a simple remark, but years later it became a reality. More than a decade later, when they met again, Jetsun Pema had grown into a beautiful and intelligent young woman. Their love blossomed, and King Jigme chose her as his only wife, breaking with the royal tradition of polygamy in Bhutan. Jetsun Pema accepted the king's proposal at the age of 21. After 3 years of a private relationship, she became the youngest queen in the world. Their wedding, though simple and traditional, was deeply meaningful and marked a significant event not only in Bhutan's history but also drew international attention. On October 13, 2011, the royal wedding of King Jigme Khesar Namgyel Wangchuck and Queen Jetsun Pema took place, marking a historic event not only for Bhutan but for the world. The ceremony was held at Punakha Dong, one of Bhutan's most ancient and sacred landmarks, drawing the attention of millions. The wedding began at dawn around 4 a.m. with prayers from 100 monks, led by Ji Khenpo, Bhutan's highest spiritual leader. The entire town of Punakha seemed to awaken with the sacred Buddhist rituals. Thousands of Bhutanese people from all over the country gathered from 5 a.m. in the chilly morning to witness this monumental moment. At 8:20 a.m., King Jigme, dressed in traditional royal attire, arrived at the palace with Prime Minister Jigme Y Thinley and the Royal Bhutan Police Chief. A few moments later, the royal bride, Jetsun Pema, was escorted to the palace in a grand procession with more than 100 people beating drums and chanting, creating a deeply spiritual atmosphere. The wedding was broadcast live across Bhutan, with around 710,000 people watching on television. Though it wasn't as extravagant as other royal weddings worldwide, its symbolism and solemnity were a perfect blend of tradition and modernity. Immediately after the ceremony, Queen Jetsun Pema lit a golden lamp at Dewa Chen Poi Phodrang, known as the Palace of Great Bliss, and offered prayers for the nation and Bhutan's royal family. She was officially crowned Queen of Bhutan shortly afterward in the sacred Makhan Temple. After the solemn rituals, the king and queen joined thousands of Bhutanese citizens in celebrations, dancing and singing. The royal couple's humility and warmth touched the hearts of people who had traveled from far and wide. A grand feast was held with around 60 chefs from Bhutan's valleys preparing traditional dishes, creating a cozy and intimate atmosphere for the celebration. After the wedding, instead of indulging in an extravagant honeymoon, the royal couple embarked on a 4-day trek from Punakha to Thimphu to meet with their subjects. 2016 was a milestone year for the Bhutanese royal family when Queen Jetsun Pema gave birth to their first child, Crown Prince Jigme Namgyel Wangchuck, on February 5th. His name carries deep meaning. Jigme means fearless, and Namgyel stands for absolute victory. The birth of the crown prince brought immense pride to the king and queen, and the entire country shared in their joy. To celebrate, citizens planted 108,000 saplings across the kingdom. Crown Prince Jigme Namgyel is being raised in an environment that blends Bhutan's Buddhist traditions with modern education. The king and queen emphasize preserving Bhutan's cultural values while also giving the crown prince an international perspective. In March 2020, the royal family welcomed their second child, Prince Wangchuck. His name, Ujjian, is inspired by Bhutan's founding king, Wangchuck, symbolizing prosperity and protection for the nation. In September 2023, Queen Jetsun Pema gave birth to their third child, Princess Sonam Yangdan Wangchuck. Sonam signifies virtue, longevity, and good fortune, while Yangdan represents a precious jewel, symbolizing prosperity and peace. All three royal children, Crown Prince Jigme Namgyel, Prince Ujjian, and Princess Sonam, are being raised in a nurturing environment, balancing tradition and modernity. The king and queen place great importance on family values and are dedicated to raising their children with a sense of responsibility toward their country, while also ensuring they grow up with humility and love for the people. Despite being royalty, the daily life of King Jigme Khesar, Namgyel Wangchuck, and Queen Jetsun Pema is remarkably humble and down-to-earth. They don't live a lavish lifestyle. Instead, they are often seen attending community events like cultural festivals, education forums, healthcare discussions, and charity work. The king and queen are personally involved in tree planting programs to protect the environment, one of Bhutan's top priorities. They regularly visit remote villages, meet with locals, listen to their challenges, and work together on initiatives to improve the social and economic conditions of these communities. Currently, the King of Bhutan holds a ceremonial role as the spiritual leader and symbol of national unity and tradition. The direct governance and leadership of Bhutan fall under the authority of the Prime Minister, who is elected by the people. There's a remarkable detail about the Bhutanese royal family that cannot go unnoticed. Bhutan transitioned from an absolute monarchy to a constitutional monarchy in peace, a rare phenomenon in a world where many nations saw the end of absolute monarchy through violent and tumultuous uprisings. In 2006, King Jigme Wangchuck, the fourth king of Bhutan and father of the current king, took the monumental step of establishing a constitutional monarchy, a move that set Bhutan on the path toward democracy. Recognizing the importance of political modernization, he initiated the process by introducing democratic reforms and drafting a new constitution that would limit the powers of the monarchy. This decision paved the way for Bhutan to adopt a parliamentary system while maintaining the monarchy as a symbolic institution. After laying the groundwork for these significant reforms, King Jigme Wangchuck abdicated in 2008, passing the throne to his son, Jigme Khesar Namgyel Wangchuck. This seamless transition not only ensured the continuity of the royal family's legacy, but also demonstrated the king's commitment to the future of Bhutan, where governance would increasingly rest in the hands of its people. The king's decision was not driven by external pressures but by a deep understanding of the evolving world. By introducing democratic reforms and a new constitution in 2008, King Jigme safeguarded the stability of Bhutan while simultaneously preserving the monarchy. This peaceful shift allowed Bhutan to maintain its traditions while empowering its citizens to actively participate in their country's governance.